Good day, everyone. Today, we sit down with the two minds behind one of the most exciting plant-based Filipino food brands that emerged in recent years, Roots and Rolls PH. Known for the signature Fusong Toffoli wrap and Luya Beats ice cream, this brand has been turning heads not just for the products, but for their philosophy. With me today are the brand co-founders and marketing practitioners, Ms. Erica Joy Dakiwag, who heads brand strategy, and Ms. Rose Ann Tabisola, who leads product development. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you so much, Raya. Yes, thank you. We're really excited to talk about this today.
So let's start with the beginning. Roots and Rolls PH has a very distinct identity. Plant-based, Filipino, honest. Where did the idea come from? And what was the moment you knew this was something worth building?
Honestly, it became a personal frustration. I kept looking for snacks that felt familiar, like my lola would make. But were also clean and good for my body. Everything plant-based on the market felt very boring, very Western, and I thought, why cannot Filipino food be that? Why cannot our own flavors lead to conversation? That's why really the seed of it.
Yes, it was more about the ingredients. I've always been fascinated by what Filipino kitchens already have. The banana blossom, the ginger, the tofu, and the cabbage. And these are not exotic. They've been in our markets for generations. And we just wanted to elevate them, to give them the spotlight they deserve, and show people that clean eating doesn't mean giving up the flavors we grew up with.
Speaking of those ingredients, let's talk about your two hero products. First, Fusong Toffoli wrap. What makes it stand out in a market that already has a lot of healthy snack options?
What makes it different is that it does not try to pretend it's something else. A lot of plant-based products are trying to mimic meat, trying to fool you. Fusong Toffoli wrap is just what is tofu banana blossom, carrots, fresh cabbage, steamed and lightly fried, simple, honest, and incredible flavor because the ingredients are allowed to shine. There's a lot of heart in every roll, literally and figurative, which is where the name comes Fusong.
I like that. And then there's Luya Beats ice cream. Ginger ice cream, which is not something you see every day. How did that come about?
It actually came from a dare. And someone said ginger ice cream would never work. And that was all I needed to hear. But beyond the challenge, ginger has always been this powerful, underused ingredient in Filipino cuisine. So we put it in tinola and in so many other dishes, but never dessert. And I wanted to change that. The result is this scoop that's creamy and cold but has this warm, spicy finish from the ginger. It surprises people every single time.
And from market standpoint, the surprise is gold. People try it skeptically and then they cannot stop talking about it. Word of mouth has been biggest driver for Luya Beats.
That's a great transition. Let's talk about the marketing side. Both of you are practitioners as well. How do you approach marketing a plant-based Filipino food brand in a market that it is still very much dominated by traditional and fast food?
A lot of consumers still associate plant-based with bland or expensive or elitist. And we had to break that down before we can even sell anything. So our content strategy leans heavily on showing people what's inside. Our Meet the Ingredient series, our Did You Know content, because once people understand what they're eating and why it's good for them, the selling happens naturally.
Yes, we always anchor it in Filipino identity. We never position ourselves as a foreign concept. Everything we do, from the name, the tagline, the ingredients, is deeply rooted in who we are as Filipinos. So there's our tagline, "Eat close to the earth." It is a cultural statement that the earth we're talking about are the Filipino soil.
That's beautifully put. How do you balance being a food brand with being a marketing-driven brand? Where does the product end and the storytelling begin?
I think the best brands don't separate those two things. The product is the story, and every time someone bites into the Pusong Totally Wrap, they're experiencing everything that we believe in: the Filipino flavors, the clean ingredients, and of course honesty. And our jobs as marketers is just to make sure people got the chance to take that first bite.
In every brand has its challenges. What was been the hardest part of being Roots and Rose PH? And what keeps you going?
The hardest part is the changing habits. People are comfortable with what they know. Convincing someone to try a cabbage roll instead of their usual afternoon snack takes a real effort. But every time someone message us, they cannot stop thinking about it. Or that they brought it to gathering and it was gone in 10 minutes. That's what kept us going.
Yes, for me, it's the constant pressure to stay true to the mission while also growing. There's always a temptation to compromise, use cheaper ingredients, and cut corners. But we started this because we believe in honest food, and that's not something we're willing to trade for scale.
Finally, what's next for Roots and Rose PH? What can your customers look forward to?
We're working on expanding the menu, staying true flavors and plant-based ingredients, but introducing new products that surprise people the way Loya Beats did. We want every new product to feel like a revelation, something familiar but completely unexpected.
Yes, and we're looking at making our products more accessible. So more touch points, more ways for people to find us, and because ultimately the mission only works if people can actually get their hands on the food, of course.
Rose and Erica, this has been such an inspiring conversation. Roots and Rose PH is proof that Filipino food has always had everything it needs to lead the plant-based movement. Thank you both for your time and building something so beautifully rooted.
Thank you! And to everyone listening, eat close to the earth.
And maybe start with Pusong Toffoli Wrap or Luya Bits ice cream.
Roots and Rose PH, wholesome, Filipino, and worth every bite. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.